deflection caused Federici to scramble, and it deflects clearly out for a corner, but the referee and his assistant and his fourth official have all missed it. And that'll do for MacArthur.
Well, I don't know how you miss it. Galloway just was looking for Kolikovsky, and it had Federici scrambling across his goal line because he's worried this is just creeping in at the back post. And I don't know how on earth they missed the corner.
Daniel Elder has had a great season, and his assistants let him down a little there. Tough for him to see on his angle. The judges this as a free kick against Atkinson for clattering into Puyo. What have you made of Puyo's season?
Yeah, look, I think he's had good moments and not so good moments, and that's why he's been in and out of the team. But when he's on song, he's such a nice player to watch. And they need him to be on song today with no Shushaeta. He's been one of their best players this season.
He was going for goal there, and he was caught late by McGing. MacArthur had coughed up possession in a dangerous area. Adrian Luna saw Federici off his line. He's been caught out in that situation before, and he went for goal here, didn't get hold of it at all well, and McGing will avoid the caution seemingly. Luna kept his feet but lost out. Here is Puyo. Tommy Orr adjusting his feet well. Just enough on it to bring Nuno Reis into play. Bozza, I mentioned that Federici was vulnerable off his line again. That's why Luna went for the long-range strike. Just explain to the viewers why he is off his line so often.
Well, he's being a sweeper keeper, and it's very, very important for the keeper, regardless if you want to be, like in inverted commas, a sweeper keeper, so you want to make sure that that's one of your main points of your game. But your distance between the last line of defence, whether it be the central defenders, fullbacks, wherever it is, and yourself has got to be constant all the while. Now, as we've seen in the Euros as well with Patrick Schick's goal for the Czech Republic, it's very, very important if you are going to play that type of role that your starting position in terms of your body needs to be right. It needs to be on the side. So you need to be facing one of the sides. Because if you square on, in other words, facing the other goal, you can get yourself in real trouble.
Tommy Orr in the mood tonight. He's looking sharp down that left flank for MacArthur. Wants it back here from Puyo. Lovely pass. And Puyo into space, lifting it back post. Awkward for Jamison. Puts it out of play because he knew McGing was lurking.
And just not enough players in the box. Once they're working it down that left-hand side, the player on the right-hand side should be in the box. You see Mombois and McGing, it's too late. They just got caught ball watching there. It's a terrific move. Tommy Orr and then Puyo with a decent ball in. Jamison didn't know what was around him, gives away the corner.
Well, he scored the most headed goals. He scored the most goals from corners, Matt Derbyshire. They couldn't find him with that effort, and they won't get a second crack at it this time, despite the appeal from the Englishman. And the battle of the former Matildas coaches last week, MacArthur FC reduced to 10 men, and the game was 0-0 up in Gosford. Charles Mombois able to pop up with the goal in extra time before Roos finished it off late for the Bulls. Melbourne City playing their football. From side to side they go. Kolikovsky, recycle back to Tilio playing deep. There was plenty going on there. Milligan coming together with Kolikovsky, and the referee kept an eye on it and blew the whistle. He didn't like what he saw, and VAR might just run the rule over this one.
2 fouls now from McGing on that right-hand side, and unnecessary ones. Brought the 2 captains together as well. It's Mark Milligan. I think that's certainly accidental as he tries to leapfrog him. Emerson thought otherwise, but I'm sure that was accidental.
Could have been ordinary for Kolakovsky. Could have done some damage to his ankle, but fortunately it was just a glancing blow. And he's right to continue. Great situation here for Florent Berenguer to whip it in. Looking for the flick on. O'Neill got his head on it and couldn't direct it into a dangerous spot.
Yeah, the ball probably wasn't deep enough from Berenguer. Hits it flat, but it's a difficult one for Aidan O'Neill. It's virtually centre of the goal. Maybe had to sort of check his run backwards a little bit as well, and never going to get that on target. Apologies to Jake McGing there. It wasn't him, it was Mark Milligan.
Making all of the noise, those boys in the bullpen. And Melbourne City with their support at the other end. Credit to them for making the trip up. Let's hope if they win this game that the grand final will be hosted in Melbourne at Amy Park next Saturday night. Throw back to the Melbourne Heart Days. Stefan Kolakovsky, who leads the line tonight, was there as a fan, as a 10-year-old that day, dreaming of playing for this club. And here he is in a semi-final in place of Jamie McLaren up top. Nice distribution from Federici. What about the touch on the chest from Puyo? That'll get him flowing. Flipped in by Galloway, who picked the pocket, and beautiful ball down the line. Kolakovsky in the middle. Luna tried to bend it around for him, but Milligan took up a great position.
He did. As soon as he was released, Milligan just made a beeline for the near post to cut that ball off. That's all he can do there. Kolakovsky's behind him. Skill from Puyol, and then Tommy Orr closed down. Loses that one-on-one battle with Galloway, who will release Luna down the right-hand side.
Now Telio, back post. Arriving was Griffiths, and great defending from Shushnia. Back in by Telio. And MacArthur scramble it clear of their 18-yard box. Here's Luna again, who knows a better pass, and Kolakovsky was in. Put some pressure on Mombois here, who concedes the corner and doesn't get the benefit of any free kick for the tussle with the Uruguayan. The corner routines have looked dangerous so far. Berenguer, good shape on this one too. Skims off the head of Milligan, but it'll be coming back via Jamison. Griffith stays forward. Jamison goes into a central area. And Rage floats one nicely for Atkinson. Jamison flicked it in, and Milligan clears the lines. Now they can push out MacArthur after absorbing plenty of pressure. Luna to angle that first time ball through for Atkinson. There's Jamison tucking in again. Melbourne City dominating possession here, particularly in this last 5 minutes or so. They'll be up towards that 60% mark overall before you know it, the way this one is going. First time ball from Jamison into space, knew where Atkinson would be. And now Scott Jamison, a goal scorer this season. blockers in the road. Again, MacArthur can't get out. They'd love a throw, and they'll get it here, and that will relieve some pressure.
Yeah, that's a reliever because Melbourne City's shifting the ball well. Ball speed's good. Just can't get that final ball into the box. You look at both goalkeepers now, coming up to nearly half an hour, and not a lot to do for Thomas Glover or Federici. A lot of the plays in this middle third, but Melbourne City, last 5 minutes, definitely dominating the possession.
I mentioned the prospect of where the grand final could be hosted. Greg O'Rourke will join us post-game and give us an update on how all that stands. If Melbourne City have earned the right, or if Sydney FC are the host team. Benyart's caught in possession. Able to take it back off Gilio just in the nick of time. Derbyshire able to keep it in. Again, Benyart confronted. He's a little off the pace, Benyart, who came with a big reputation, but injury has troubled him this season. And he just looks like he's struggling. Man, with all that experience in La Liga, Robbie.
They're just quicker in that middle third at the moment and didn't really get himself into the game, Benyart. And when he does get the ball, it's a little bit slow, but to be fair to him, there's not a lot in front of him at the moment.
Of course, John Rowe was first name on the team sheet this season. That's why he became a Socceroo for the first time. They really miss his energy and industry in midfield. Melbourne City missing Connor Metcalf, as I mentioned earlier, probably watching the game together in Dubai. Getting their caps together. Boyhood teammates. Lunge there from Berenguer will prompt the first booking of the game, which startles him.
Well, it shouldn't, because it's a yellow card because he's away. Good situation if he breaks free here. Martis and Jameson was coming across, but that's clearly a yellow card.
Schuschnauer has gone forward, so too McGing. Tough for Puyo to drop it into a goal-scoring spot here. That's what they're looking for. Tom Glover just off his line will come and collect. That's great command of his area, Bozza.
Yeah, coming back to what I said pre-game, these two goalkeepers have had excellent seasons for different reasons. Obviously, Adam Federici, the more busy of the two during the game. That's because of Melbourne City's dominance all season, but it's much more difficult as a goalkeeper when your team is on top continually and you only got small moments and you have to be spot on with those, and he was spot on with that one. Such confidence it gives to your defence when you come and dominate your area. It really does separate the men from the boys in terms of goalkeeping.
What about the wisdom of whipping it in from that spot, Robbie Slater?
Yeah, not a fan. I think it's difficult. Maybe the thought there is if keeper doesn't come, it's the second ball you're looking to get, but that's not only easy for a goalkeeper when it's in the air that long time, but also for defenders to defend that kind of ball.
Turned around to Van Franjic. Federici has time for a touch. Derbyshire, the Nuno Reis. Portuguese defenders had a brilliant game so far. Mombois, mistake at the back from Melbourne City. Charles Mombois around the keeper, blocked on the line. Stunning recovery from Nuno Reis. And Charles Mombois, already a finals hero for MacArthur, couldn't quite finish it off.
Well, Nuno Reis gets a pat on the back, and so he should. But Mombois, brilliant work from him. The mistake here, Aidan O'Neill to Rostovas, just gets his toe there. He goes around the goalkeeper, and just not enough on that. He needed to hit it harder. Of course, he's facing away, so he doesn't know of the recovery run from Reis. He thinks he scored, and what about that? Last stitch saves an open goal. But Mombois should have taken him out of the equation.
And that replay showed Nuno Reis had a look, had a glance at his keeper and thought, you force him wide and I'll try and get back. Brilliantly done. They needed a defensive stalwart to come into this lineup, Melbourne City. And Panik was able to find Nuno Reis, who arrived just after the season began.
Ante Milicic knows what a big moment that was. There's been a few chances in this first half, that by far the best one.
Benyard whips it in. Shushnia, chance again. And Melbourne City, enough bodies there. They denied Derbyshire initially as he flung himself to action. And Atkinson prevents the corner. Gets it out for the throw. Suddenly, there's some activity in Tom Glover's penalty area.
Yeah, and that ball just falls. Here's the Monbois chance again. He's away. Goes around the keeper, Thomas Glover. He thinks he scored. Nuno Reis had other ideas. Here's the corner. Oh, he's so close there. Shushnia from opening the scoring as well. And having a look at it, he should have scored.
Like you said, he thinks Nuno Reis is out of the equation, so he goes centre of goal. If he knows Reis is there, maybe he tries to go bottom corner and takes him out of the equation completely. That replay behind the goal really letting the viewers know what happened there. Great chance goes Becky. But it's a great philosophy to have for any sports person. Never give up in any situation. Frenius! Back off the bar! He scored some pretty special goals in his A-League career, and that would have topped the lot in a semi-final if that had flown in the top corner.
Well, it just opened up in front of him. What a strike. Had Glover beaten, crashing against the crossbar, and it just opened up in front of him. No one closed him down. Took 1-2 touch, set himself, hit it perfectly. And all of a sudden, MacArthur have gone up a gear. They've had 3 chances to open the scoring.
And the game is opening up as well. Now Melbourne City with numbers forward. Good flow about this move. Galloway, pass just delayed a little by Atkinson, who can go again here. He's got a good turn of speed. Nathaniel Atkinson right across the face and dealt with expertly by McGing.
And you just look at Tilio's position. He's ball watching. He's got to try and get across McGing. Look at this. As you see, it just opened up for him, and it's swerving. Just wouldn't dip enough. Glover at full stretch is beaten, but not the crossbar.
In the corner. Taken short by City. Luna, Berenguer, Tilio, Galloway, back to Tilio. Header from Griffiths trying to turn them around and get City players in behind. Very careful not to give away a free kick there, Loic Puyo. Able to block off Atkinson's intended cross. He's got no one to go to here, Puyo. Tommy Orr gave him a burst, but Atkinson won it back. Now Melbourne City having their little period after MacArthur came at them for a couple of minutes there, boss.
Yeah, what a cracking last 5 minutes or so. Always the fear with Melbourne City with their dominance of play. The other team will always have a moment. And in the past, sometimes the other team has scored and their confidence has gone rock bottom. Big games are decided by men and moments. And in those big moments, it was Melbourne City, one through luck and one through an outstanding bit of play from Nuno Reis, who came out on top. So important from their mental perspective, especially right before half-time, considering the dominance that they had, not to have conceded there. But MacArthur just showing why they're at this stage of the season. They sucked all that pressure in for all that time. They kept on coming back and really should have been 1-0 up, but they're not.
Austin Griffiths partnering Nuno Reis at the back. Griffiths desperate to win one grand final before he's done. He's 0-5 in grand finals / cup finals. His brother has has got a winner's medal. Brent Griffiths from his time with the Mariners. And he reminds Roston of that regularly. Concern here. Haven't had too many stoppages in this game, but clash of heads here, and Loic Puyo came off second best. What kind of subtle adjustments could Paddy Kisnorbo make now in a conversation with his centre half?
His positioning, starting position, where the ball is, where he should be.
Hey, tell Aiden.
He's given a message to Aiden.
Quick.
Quick. There you go.
Hey, Aiden.
The majority of part of the first half, Melbourne City's football has been mesmerising, as it has been all season. But as I keep telling young managers when I speak to them, regardless of how well you're playing, other teams will have their moments. And those are the moments that you've got to switch your mentality from an attacking one to make sure that you defend with your lives. And they did that. I mean, Nuno Reis, like I said, if they happen to go on to win this semi-final, what an important block that will be remembered as.
So every precaution being taken with the head knock here for Loic Puyo. Options to replace him in midfield would be Liam Rose. Or put Milligan into midfield and bring Anthony Golick on at the back potentially. It's going to continue for now. MacArthur's number 10. Martis on loan from Midtjylland follows up his work, pokes it in to an area hoping to find Orr or Derbyshire. Again, it was Reish first to react. Jamison's got his hands full with Mombois. Hasn't he just burst onto the scene, Charles Mombois, right?
He has, and a lot of players around the country have this season, and he's certainly one of them. And he's picking in the starting 11 at the moment every week. Ante Milicic. So it's obviously not just the games; it's what he's doing in training as well.
Punched back to Federici. Distribution again was decent. McGinn just saw it skipping away from him though. And there's Mombois right in the face of Jamison. Ante Milicic would have been schooling Charles Mombois during the week about the positions that Jamison takes up, and when he's got to attend to his defensive duties, he's thwarting Jamison at times. Clever ball. Dropped in between the lines for Berenguer. Kolakowski, the only one ahead of him. Time for a nutmeg from Berenguer, and the referee just saw a little drag back. Jamison with the diagonal. Galloway and Atkinson once fighting for one spot, now operating in tandem on that right-hand side. Tilio. The game just slows down when Marco Tilio gets on the ball. He's got all the time in the world. Now clears. Bouncing ball here. Griffiths. That pass has Derbyshire interested, but enough roll on it to get to Glover. Not scared after gifting that chance to MacArthur earlier in this half with a backwards pass. Surface where we have seen players lose their footing at times. Atkinson's second ball inside a minute. Jamison forward. Mombois forces him outside of that area, but gives up the corner.
It's great tracking back from Mombois, but the ball from Tilio to Jamison didn't have enough weight on it. Sort of had to wait for it and gave Mombois time to come back. There's the Little hesitation, waiting for the ball, and Momboy stuck to his task. Dangerous time. Out to half time.
In swinger from Berenguer. Griffiths getting there, and Atkinson couldn't keep his shot down. He knows that's a half chance.
Terrific duel is Roston Griffiths, as he so often does in that position, and had to take a quick Atkinson, but didn't get the body shape required to control that volley.
Check of the watches for the City fans. Half time, just a matter of minutes away. Lombard trying to thread it through for Derbyshire. Griffith saw what was coming. Important little phase just before the break. Chance here, and that's an important read by Shushnia, because Kolikovsky and Atkinson were both charging, trying to get in behind. Oh, classy. Atkinson again in concert with Galloway. Able to take it in his stride. Nathaniel Atkinson! And Milligan might have blocked a goal. Berenguer keeps it alive. Tilio. And it deflects kindly for Federici. Was that goal bound, Robbie?
Without a doubt. He's blocked a goal there. Atkinson did so well. Looked like the ball had just gone too far in front of him. He's able to chop it. Here it looks too far. Chops this one onto his left foot. That's going in. I think that would have been past Federici as he was lunging to his right. Melbourne City have their big chance of the half.
Tommy Orr. Atkinson fighting his way back, and his presence enough. Tommy Orr says, "Where are you?" to his teammates. No one getting into that area, trying to make something happen.
And Atkinson's done really well on that right-hand side, and that's not really what was required, but he can rotate with Galloway as they've done this whole half.
Just the 1 minute of stoppage time added for that 90-second delay for the concussion check on Moet Kuyo. You know, it makes sense. Late corner. Benyard has moved out there for the short option, but it looks like it'll be swung in. In fact, it's a variation for Franjic to try and produce something again. Floats it in. Derbyshire, out came Glover and dealt with it emphatically. And the collateral cost is to Matt Derbyshire. He's back to his feet now. No damage done. And that'll just about do us.
Well, Glover does what he had to do, and that's what they say. If you're going to come, you've got to take everything. And he certainly took Derbyshire as well. Good to see him come straight back up, but he's winded. There's no doubt about it.
Well, it's goalless at half-time in the semi-final, but haven't we seen some action? Adam Federici's goal under threat at times. Nuno Reis with a splendid goal line clearance to deny Charles. with 2 goals. Win this semi-final. They're the ones writing the headlines, and there is the proud Tilio clan in the grandstand here at Cogra. They'll be the home team in the grand final. Where that home venue will be determined over the next 24 hours or so. Full time, Melbourne City 2, MacArthur FC 0. What a terrific performance. Tom Glover keeps another clean sheet. He was one of the best in the game in last year's grand final, and he's got another shot at it against Sydney FC. A massive grand final looms. Let's get down to Adam.
Thank you, Speedy. Thank you to Robbie Slater for the call as well. Yep, we will be where we were 12 months ago in terms of teams in the grand final. Where we're going to be for that grand final remains to be seen. Fingers crossed that it is Melbourne. They have deserved Melbourne City to host this grand final after winning the Premier's Plate. Coming here, no Naboo, no McLaren. Craig Noon pulls out the warm-up. Scott Jamieson goes off during the course of the game. Good and Metcalf as well, missing for Melbourne City. And in the end, Mark Bosnich, there are absolutely no complaints, I'd say, from MacArthur's side of things, and certainly not from Melbourne City's side of things, that is the team through to the grand final.
Absolutely not. A fantastic performance today. They did exactly what they had to do when there were some moments against them. But what an absolutely phenomenal, you could say, performance considering the circumstances. You just said they've been great all season. 2 of the best teams rightfully into the grand final. But considering all those players that were missing and to put the performance they did on today, congratulations to them, to their coaching staff. Paddy Kisnorbo already said Des Buck and the rest of the staff. The people behind the scenes, Brad Rouse and Michael Petrillo. Really was a fantastic performance under all sorts of pressure, and they can feel very proud of themselves.
And these kids who've come in, I mean, you see Nathaniel Atkinson there, he's barely played a minute in the last 2 months, and Marco Tilio with the Tilio crew upstairs, and Stefan Kolakovsky as well. His performance, I mean, it was a performance towards the end there, but put that to one side. His football performance was outstanding. And a quick word as well, though, from the other side of the equation emotionally at the moment, Mark Milligan, you see in there, is his career's over. It must be such a weird feeling, Bozzo, as a footballer. You've given so much to the game, and then all of a sudden you've decided, nope, no more. That's it, and that's it for Mark Milligan. What a servant to Australian football he's been.
Yeah, he's been a great servant. There's no doubt about that. He's there with Gino Mara there and Sam Kristovic and Marco Susieta right in the picture. They were second best, but today, right from the outset. And, you know, it's always difficult at these moments, and it's understandable, but one should always look back and smile when one's been fortunate enough to be playing professional football. But today was not about that. Today was about Melbourne City and what was, like I said, a stunning performance, deserved win, and now they go to the grand final next week.
That man was outstanding. He was very good last season, Florian Berenguer, but he had a really good night. And Tilio, the Tilio crew, they're waiting there, man. He's coming up here with us. We're set up in the bar area here, the Legends Bar here at Cogra. I'm not sure if they want to come in and join us. There's a fridge just behind us with a fridge full of the stuff. But these 2 young men are going to come straight in. Come in, boys.
Marco, the hot shots, the hot shots.
Well done, boys. Your seats at the bar are right there. Well done, guys. Outstanding performance. Stefan Kolakovsky and Marco Tilio. Yeah, no open handshakes at the moment, given what's going on. Well done, guys. Up down there. Marco, to you first, because you've got the home support. How many tickets do you have to ask for tonight?
Started off with 30, and then whenever's left over, I got them as well. So yeah.
I can't hear that answer because they've all come down. Here they are. Stephen, how many did you ask for tonight?
I have 7 of my family from Melbourne. They flew up this morning.
They come up.
And 8 of my cousins from Sydney. So
excellent.
A bit of home support.
Halfway there.
And Stefan,